What the? Doesn't want to use my good camera. Hold on. Oh, all right. Well, then I'll just turn off my camera. So, and I'm going to tell you, this isn't to garner sympathy or anything, and I know you're going to say you're sorry, and it just sucks, but my family's been dealing with it for almost 3 years. My oldest niece, she's 32, and she was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer almost 3 years ago, and it's like she's at the very end. So, yeah, it sucks. And she went into the ICU. She's been in the hospital for about 3 months now, and she went into the ICU this morning with a brain bleed, and she had a stroke. So, it's no, dude. I've come to terms with it a long time ago. I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, it's just, and the entire family is of the same opinion. It's one of those things where, that's where I was. That's why I wasn't available immediately. I was hanging out with my brother and my mom. And well, I wasn't telling to get sympathy or anything. I apologize for, oh, hey, I can't move my, what did you have to do to get your thing to move again? There you go. Boom! Oh no! Oh no, it's just shitty. But I mean, there's really nothing. I mean, there's nothing. All of us, with maybe not all of us, but most of us have come to terms with it, right? And it's just at this point, it's the it's gonna have to be over eventually, And the other thing that sucks is she's. I got it downloaded here.
There it is. Yeah, sorry, technical difficulties here. All right, we're all good. So, we are back again. We're playing Tabletop Simulator. We're doing round 2 of 7 Ronin. Last week, me and Lance played, and I happened to win playing as the Ronin. Today, we're switching sides, and we'll see how I do as a ninja and how he does as the Ronin.
Today, you will find out what it looks like when the Ronin lose.
Yes.
That's my system. The grudge match between the two of us.
Yes.
Well, I guess the grudge match would have to be I'd have to pull even with you, and then we'd have to have
there we go.
Break the tie kind of thing or something.
Yes. Okay, so I was just moving it on there. All right, so for everyone watching, something new that we're going to start doing from now on. If you look there that I just pulled down on screen right above our social media, you'll see discount code 7RoninStream. One of the things that we're going to be doing from now on during the streams is that we are going to have special discount codes that are active and only active for, I believe, 24 hours from the stream. So you have to watch the stream to get the code, and the code will usually coincide with whatever game I'm playing. So if you go to greatfossgames.com, you don't want to copy 7 Ronin, when you go to checkout, if you put in 7 Ronin stream, I believe it's 20% off, I think. Like
it was either 20% off, or was it free shipping? Or
free shipping.
I apologize.
It has it'll give you the details when you put the discount code in. It's one of those two things. Either you get free shipping on it, or I think you'll get the 20% off. But yeah, either way, you can get a discount on 7 Ronin today if you don't already own it. So just go to the website and check that out. And then the other side of the screen at the top there, once again, that's our fancy, cool merch store that we have. So what you can do is you can go there. There is some 7 Ronin merch as well, so you can go check that out and get some cool swag for 7 Ronin. So yeah, all kinds of cool stuff going on over here.
I'm excited. I feel like I'm going to flounder, but I'm excited to see how the other side works, and figure out exactly. Learning from watching you, I guess. From watching. But then, as you said, if I follow along, and just kind of, and if I don't, I have to be unexpected, right? I can't just go with what I have to. You think that I think that you think, kind of thing, and figure out how to. Mm-hmm. How to subvert the expectations you may have.
It's a very deep hole, so you just want to make sure that you don't get lost in it, because you can go on and on about, well, if he thinks this and I could think this, I'm like, yes, he thinks this, and and it's just just don't get lost.
So just so I remember, Green Ronin.
Yes.
This guy, if he's by himself, he can shoot an arrow and kill one of the ninja that's in the bag.
It's in the supply, correct.
It's in the supply. White Ronin's just big and meaty.
Big meaty boy.
He can take lots of damage. Tycho is the healer.
Correct.
He's by himself. He can heal somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the red or the purple ninja? Purple Ronin, not ninja. The purple Ronin. That he can, he kills one automatically before any damage.
That's Musashi. That's the red one.
He's the master swordsman.
Yes, he's the master swordsman, so he has to be in a space with a ninja. High Eye, if he ends up not being in a space with a ninja, can go to any space on the board that does have ninja, but not another Ronin. So,
okay.
And then Yobu will, if he's in a space with ninjas, can push up to 2 of them in to adjacent spaces, either the same space or he can split them up however he wants. But he can push up to 2 out of the space that he's in.
And I can't pronounce her name.
Tasuke, I believe.
Tasuke?
I believe so. What? Yeah, Tasuke. So her thing is she is able to be put in the same space as another Ronin.
And then you can divvy up the damage.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yes.
And the big thing is that I can't let you have a bunch of fields in the inn at the same time.
Maybe, yeah. There's definitely, you'll see. I think the strategy for the Ronin is a lot harder than the strategy for the ninjas, personally. But that's just me. We'll see.
Well, that's my excuse then. When I lose,
yeah,
the strategy was much more difficult, and that's why I was unable to determine what I was supposed to do.
It's all a matter of perspective. All right, so you're all set.
It
so
is perspective.
Don't forget about the middle space. You can't place there until I have ninjas already there.
I was going to ask you that is because I was like, why? After I got done playing, I was like, why wouldn't you just always put an in? I mean, it would be a no-brainer. You should always put a Ronin in the middle. But I mean, obviously, you can't put it there until there's somebody there. That makes sense, because otherwise, you just dump. I mean, you could dump bowman dude in there every single turn. You'd just scare him away, and then he'd shoot him. You know, and you take a shot. I mean, it just seems like, yeah.
Now, if I'm not mistaken about the greenery also doesn't allow any Ronin effects. I think the entire purpose of it is just to clear it out whenever you send a Ronin there, but I'm double checking here.
That makes sense. Because you should then if there was a ninja in there, you'd always send your healer in there. He'd scare him away, and then he'd be able to heal some. So, I mean, it seems...
yeah, there's no abilities at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're in the fields. They're running around the opium, and they just get kind of in a haze.
Yes.
And just scare the people off.
All right, I flip my board around. So this will be easier for you because that board I think is a lot easier to read on the Ronin side.
Yes,
and it's also facing the right way. So this should be a little bit easier for your placement. I flip my board around so it's facing the same orientation as the board here.
So the granary allows you to bring more out of the bag,
pool.
right?
Yeah, so I get extra ninja
pool.
from the pool to my supply.
The meat packing plant here.
Mm-hmm.
My father worked in the meat packing plant. He was a teacher, and during the summer he would go and he'd slaughter cows.
Oh, was it also in feudal Japan?
No, it was
okay.
not. He did not travel back in time and you know get 7 yen for his trouble or whatever that is that they paid people back then. No, okay. So the meatpacking plant. What does the meatpacking plant do again?
So the bullpen, as it is referred to in the game, that will allow me to lock one of your Ronin in place for the next round.
That's right. The poison basically does another damage to
any
another
Ronin
person. The fields are like they can count as extra.
As 3 total spaces if I control both.
If you control both.
Or
so
if I
that's a
control
win.
one in the ear, because the ear is the copy space.
Yep. The guard tower allows you to shoot an arrow at Ronin on either side, do damage to them. The ghosty faced guy scares your ninja that are on the board back into your bag.
Yes, but not in the center. I can't pull them from the center. Once they're there, they're there.
Once they're there, they're there. You have to rely on me to chase them out.
Correct.
The pathway allows you to bring more ninja onto the board, right?
Yes.
Or does that allow you to move them?
No, it allows me to take 2 ninja from my supply and add them anywhere on the board I want. They have to go to the same space, but they can go to an empty space or a space with a Ronin.
All right. And then the shrine, that prevents a power, right?
Yeah, it gives me a Buddha marker so I can turn off one of the abilities of your guys each round.
Cool.
And if I copy it, I get 2.
And I have to place all 7 of my ninja.
Yes, you always have to play. You have to place all Ronin.
All right.
And I have to place in the first round. I can go to 3 different spaces. I have to place a minimum of 1 ninja, and then each space has its own requirements for how many I can deploy there at any given time.
You know, I am thankful that they made this. Whoever made this and placed 7 Ronin on here, I am thankful that they did so. But man, the white on white is like really difficult for me anyway to like actually see the board that's hidden underneath it. The green I was able to really pick out for the ninja, but this one is like I know I can zoom in and just get underneath the hood as it is. But,
yeah, it'd be nifty if it was just like a box that you could put that the players couldn't see, and like it was just like I couldn't see what was under there, but it wasn't like a color. It was just like an area that like is blind to me.
Gotcha.
But
all right, well,
this is what we're dealing with. So as long as you can make it out at some point, that's really all that matters here.
Well, no, I can do it. I just want to be fidgety and complain.
Okay.
Anyway, what's the weather like in St. Louis today?
Today in lovely St. Louis, it is a cool 56 degrees with some clouds.
Yeah, it is cloudy, but like in the low 50s here in Minnesota.
Do you still have some snow out there, or has it gone away?
No, it's. I mean, I went. There's a couple places where like it piles up and the snowplows come and pile it all up at the end of like certain like parking lots and stuff like that. But even those giant like 20-foot piles of snow, they've all melted and gone away now. So we got that going for us, I guess. All right, let's grab. Murmur.
Keep picking up the whole bag. I'm trying to.
Don't do that.
No. Is it my perspective? No. There we go. I don't know what that was all about.
And so the first round, the healer can't heal anything because nobody's got any damage on them.
Correct.
You can't heal damage that's that's coming in, right?
Yes, yeah, he can't prevent damage. He can only remove damage that's already happened. And since Ronin abilities go off first, he won't be able to do any healing first round.
He's so worthless.
I healed like 4 damage with him last game, so
yeah. Well, you also like to brag, so
I'm not really much of a bragger.
What does the purple guy do again? He allows me. I can move to a spot
where ninja are if he's in an empty space.
If he's in an empty.
But it has to be to a spot where ninja are where I don't already have a Ronin. It has to be like because it has to follow that 1 Ronin per space rule.
Roger that.
Yeah. He's also got a lot of health, so if he ends up just being in a space already, he still fights ninjas, but it is nice to be able to send him wherever you need to if you're like, oh, I messed up, so I can kind of fix that error.
I'm looking at these little discs, and they just look like tasty sprees.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, play with candy. And you can replace your 7 Ronin parts with candy, and then whenever they die, just eat them. There you go.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, I'll get raisins for the ninjas.
Oh, yeah. Or like little pieces of
like
I'm trying to think,
chocolate chips or something.
Yeah. Or if you're a fan of black licorice.
Okay. Yeah, licorice bites. And we'll just replace all the boards with like fruit roll-ups. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah, and just roll them all. All right, I got these placed. I'm probably made horrible decisions, but we'll see what happens.
I don't know. We'll see. The first round's always tough.
For you.
Yeah. Well, all right. It's also your second game. Oh my goodness. Just give me that. All right. So we're gonna drop these over here. We're gonna drop these over here. And then we're gonna drop these over here, and then I sent one to the middle, so you can assign a ninja or a Ronin there next round, if you so desire. So I didn't get into this very much the last time that we played, but are you still active with anything with UndeadViking as far as making videos or doing podcasts? Do you have anything going on with that you want people to tune in for?
Well, I mean, yeah, I still, I'm definitely not as active as I once was back in the day, but I still have my my Wednesday evening is always, so that'd be tomorrow evening, at live stream, starts at 9 o'clock at night, just goes until we get tired. It is made better by the people that actually, like, I find myself to be long-winded and maybe a bit dull, but there's definitely like Richard Ham, Rado is on there, Scott Alden, the guy who owns Board Game Geek, comes on. Peter Shirey, who's a bigwig over at Homing or Not. He's like executive, like vice president of sales or something like that. I don't know what his exact. Recently, noted gamer geek and former NFL player Chris Cluey has joined us, and he shows up. Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely a wild, eclectic group of people, and we just we have open invites to almost anybody in the industry that I know, which is quite a few people at this point. Just because if you get working in the industry, you eventually just meet people, and then you meet people, and you meet more people, and you meet more people. Mm-hmm. And so, with Zoom, I mean, it used to be we could have like 10, and then when Google Hangouts quit, that was like we're like, oh, we can't do Google Hangouts anymore, and that was like you could have up to 10 people on the stream. And then we used a thing called StreamYard for a little while, but that only allowed us a maximum of 6. But then like Zoom came out, and it was like, yeah, go ahead and have 100 people. It was just like, oh, yeah, okay, so yeah, we actually get upwards to. We've had like 10, 11 people on at any one time, and yeah, I mean, just all. I mean, Stephen Bonacore has been on before from Stronghold Games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. And I still do the occasional video. It's just, time, man. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's not my normal, it's not my, it's just not my normal, what's the word, hustle, if you will. Mm-hmm. Like, back in the day, I used to, like, just be constantly making videos. And it's just my channel has evolved over time, and I still do stuff. It's just now when I'm inspired to do it is when I do stuff. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. It's a tough thing to keep up with it, especially if it's not like your main.
Oh,
thing.
The guys out there that when I started doing it, there was it was Scott Nicholson, Tom Vassell, me, and there was one other guy, and I can never remember his name. And it was just and then after us, there was the second wave, which was Joel Eddy and Jeremy Salinas and a couple other people, and then and then there was kind of an explosion, of people making content for board games. So, yeah, it's cool that I was in at the beginning. Sometimes I have wistful feelings of what if, but I also just have to have the attitude of whatevs. There's a lot of people that would love to work in the industry, and I do. So.
Yes, that is a big thing. Is if like you said, as soon as you start working in the industry in any capacity, you meet people very quickly. Yep. And honestly, just go to conventions, whether you work in the industry or not. You can everyone's super nice. You can meet basically anyone you want. You see Stephen Monacore walking by, you walk up. Stephen's super nice guy. You just walk up, hey man, what's going on? Just stuff like that. So. That's good. So. All
right. So I take these 2 damage off of.
No, one of them dies immediately because that's Musashi.
Die, sucker!
Oh no!
And then I'll take this guy and put him in.
All right, and then you hold on. Before you do that, you do have High Eye here that you can move if you wanted, but he doesn't actually. He can't move anywhere because you actually are encountering all the ninja already. So he's not gonna. There's no reason to move him anywhere because he can't move to a space where you already have a Ronin. So right now you've got Yumi that's taking damage.
Can he move into the middle?
He cannot because it's not a village space; it's a special area.
You and the rules, running everything.
Yeah, it's totally me. I am
Merrick Meidel and Piat Stinkwikes. I'm not saying that correctly at all. I apologize, but I am both of those people now, and I did this intentionally, just for you. All right, and then you have is this Yobu? Oh, this is Yobu over here. So Yobu can push. If you wanted to, you can push them out. You could push one of them or both of them onto High Eye if you wanted him to take the damage.
I do.
Okay, so you're going to push both of them out there.
Yep.
You can push one over here to Yumi. And
that would kill him. I'm not that. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night. As my brother loves to say. And then take this damage.
Out there, and and that's the end of the first round. Well done.
Oh, good. None of us did anything. Woo. Very disappointed in them.
It's not that none of us did anything. It's that you did all the right things. You caught all my ninjas. So now I can.
I guess I got that.
Yeah, I can look at it as oh man, I didn't get any abilities, or can look at it as, oh man, I put some serious damage down. So.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
All right.
That's not bad.
So there's one sitting in the middle, feeling good about himself.
Yes.
And that allows you to put an extra 1
in one space.
In one space. Yep.
See, I want to upload our version so I can add we have our promo tile for this game. You probably don't know about since it's your first time really playing with it, but the promo tile that you can get, it's on our website, by the way, which you can get with a copy of the game. But whenever you have it, each player gets a token, and at any round during the game, during this phase where you're placing stuff, you can spend the token and point to a space on the board, and the opponent has to tell you what they're placing there, if anything, for that round, and they can't lie about it. So I think you technically spend it after everything is placed, but before you reveal, or something.
That seems rather powerful.
Yeah, each player gets one though, and it's once per game. It actually adds a lot dynamic because knowing when to use it is very important, and also I could be whether you find out something or not, it's all information. Because if I point to a space and you're like, I'm putting nothing there, then I'm like, okay.
Tasuka can go in the same spot as somebody else, right?
Tasuka,
that's her power?
Yes, that's her thing. She can double up. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Okay, if I can just stop grabbing this bag and just get one ninja. Oh my goodness, thank you. Every time someone says tasty, it just reminds me of that scene in The Matrix where he's talking about tasty wheat. Did you ever have tasty wheat?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a rather. Is it they only made one movie?
You can't tell me the Animatrix wasn't good.
That's the best thing about it is they only made one.
Oh
movie.
my goodness.
They told the story. The Wachowskis told the story they wanted to, and then they got out. I mean that was exactly what they needed to do, and they did it. So I mean, and good for them. For
Well, they were on for all
pulling that
three
off.
films, weren't they? Isn't that the joke? Like they were on. They weren't they? I thought they were the directors for every film.
No, that's the joke.
That's
the
the
joke
joke.
is that the second and third movie were just complete and total messes, and that they just apparently had no idea what they were doing. They were just throwing stuff around, and
I think
They
what
cut-
it was with that is they probably got signed on for a 3-film contract, and then they made the first film, and they're like,
See, I'm the weirdo that I didn't even go see it in the movie theater. Like, I didn't even know it was a thing. So, so I went and I was. Oh, I gotta ask you a question.
What's up?
If Tosuka is in the spot with another person and you divvy up the damage, the Ronin abilities still go off first, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So even if they kill off all the ninja, they still don't get to use their abilities.
Correct. Yeah, Ronin always happened first.
Anyway, I didn't even see it, and I went over to a buddy's house, and I happened to just stop by a buddy's house, and he had been watching. He was in the first 15 minutes of The Matrix, and I was like, "What are you watching?" He's like, "Oh, this is The Matrix," and I was like, "I've never even seen this movie." He said, "What?" And so he immediately. I think this is back when. I mean, I don't even think it was a DVD. I think it was a VHS tape. And he rewound it. And so, first time I ever saw The Matrix, I literally I missed it in the movie theater. And we were playing a Shadowrun role-playing game,
Mm-hmm.
and I had no there was all these references to what was going on in the thing, and I had no frame of reference. They were just like, "Oh yeah, that guy from you're totally that guy from that movie," and I'm like, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
No idea.
Yeah, no idea. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie. I mean, Matrix is a fantastic movie.
Ooh, ready? All right.
Yeah, as far as action movies go, but I mean, it was one of those. I think they did not realize, what they were doing, kind of thing. It was just so okay.
Either that, or I think that the way that I like to look at it is I think they had the overall story from front to finish of all 3 films, and then I think that the first film they did everything that they wanted to with all 3, and then the other ones maybe they just couldn't get what they wanted out of it, because I know sometimes with movie budgets they require you to use a certain amount of CGI, and they require you to do certain things. There may have been things that they wanted to do differently, and we don't know how much of those films was what they wanted and what was required by their contracts. Because I've seen perfectly good films with great stories ruined by too much CGI, or this is always my argument with Batman versus Superman too. The director's cut that adds 15 minutes fixes a fair amount of the story issues, but it doesn't solve a lot of the visual issues that people had with it. But that's just one of those things where Zack Snyder had a vision, and this is what he wanted to do, and then what came out is not at all what was supposed to, what was expected and stuff. So that's
have you ever seen the Kevin Smith thing where he talks about how he was hired to come on and work on the Superman, like this when they were doing when Nicolas Cage was going to be the Superman.
I've seen some videos of it, but I didn't see.
And like I forget who the guy was that was the filmmaker dude, but I shoot one out of your bag too. So you might.
Oh, you do shoot one out of my bag? Oh, that's rude.
Yeah, so I was gonna say you can just take that one that's yours in the middle. I think that's it then. Except I gotta take these 2 points of damage and put them on my healer guy.
Mm-hmm.
No. So he said that basically that like he had this image or whatever of what he thought like the Superman was gonna be, and he just had this idea where he said, no matter what, Superman has to fight a giant spider at the end of the movie. Like, he was like all these other crazy ideas, like Superman couldn't fly and he didn't have these special ability, all these things. And he goes, but at the end of the movie, he has to fight a giant spider. And like he was just like, that was his dream. Like that was like he wanted that more than anything. And then, so eventually that movie gets cut or stopped or whatever, and they don't do it. And then but the next movie that guy worked on, or what he was Wild Wild West with
it was him.
And then at the very end, what do they fight?
The big mechanical spider. Yeah, that movie was a wild ride.
That I watched it again the other day. Like it was just like it was one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, this is a relatively decent movie I can have on for my kids to watch at the same time as me, and there's not a whole lot of like gratuity to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it wasn't horrible. I mean, you could just totally tell it was like it was a paycheck for Kevin Kline, and but Kenneth Branagh was in it. I mean, freaking Kenneth Branagh was in it. I just that's what stunned me more than anything, is that like here's this Shakespearean actor just chewing the scenery as the Confederate soldier that's missing half of his body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a great movie by any means.
Now, you know what I watched recently that was always a great movie and continues to be a great movie? The Mask of Zorro.
Oh, with
Antonio Banderas.
Banderas.
Yes, that cast was phenomenal, and even like as an older film that's like kind of campy and stuff, it holds up really well.
The scene where he drinks the water out of the thing holding his brother's head.
Oh, brutal. Yeah, like that main, like that bad guy, like that whole like colonel guy who's just like overly sadistic was like completely way over the top for what they needed for that film. But I loved how like dark and gritty, because it was like, even by today's standards, like that was like pretty messed up. And I watched it and I was like, wow, this came out like what, like 12, 15 years ago, and they did this? Amazing. Well, good for them.
Yeah, it was definitely a weirdly styled movie, I guess, is probably the best way I can say anything about that. Man, I'm just trying to decide this last guy.
Oh, I'm in your head now. I've been distracting you with all this talk about movies. Now you don't know what I'm doing.
Well, no, I got most of the people where I want. I just can't. I'm gonna go with you. I think
you should go there.
I feel pretty good about this one. Oh my god, I just spun it and they went, hold on.
Oh, you moved all your pieces. No. Q and E will rotate it.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
Oh. Okay. Damn it. Hold on. Pardon my language.
It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
This isn't where I wanted that guy here. I wanted this guy there. That guy there. Where was I putting this dude again? Oh yeah. No, that guy. powers again. Okay, this guy, he can shove people.
He can force push them.
Yes.
This would be a fun Star Wars retheme for like a fun like print and play thing.
Ah, yeah. Fight of the Sith or something? I don't know.
Something like that.
All right, let's do this.
All right. Yeah, if you just, oh my goodness, just grab. Thank you. Yep, that's. Yeah, I'm not trying to get too cute on this play, so like, it's kind of a balance between like pacing myself and then also just making plays, because like I normally will place things in a much like stranger and erratic way to like try and catch you off guard, but I'm a little more straightforward on this one.
All right, Yobu's gonna push both you guys over there.
Oh, okay.
Red guy doesn't do anything. Yellow, I'm gonna heal. One off green.
And you're that guy. Ooh, he's not gonna shoot because he's there with Tasuke.
So no, what happens to screen when I heal it?
When you heal it, yeah, it just goes there. It goes there. Yeah.
They were killed.
They were killed in battle.
In battle. Then I'll take 2 damage on Tasuka.
I'll put them both on her. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't want 2 damage on him. You know,
oh, that's true. Yeah.
She's a glorified bodyguard. There.
She's a sponge, is what she is.
I definitely picked right with big giant meat shield Yobu though.
See, and that's actually what I anticipated. Was if you remember last game, part of the reason that I won was that Kabe stayed alive because he didn't take any damage early on. So I was hoping to catch Kabe early to try to bring his health down, so later in the game it'd be easier to take him out. So I figured you'd probably put him either him in the field by himself or somebody with Tasuke, and I was fine with either.
Well, I'm glad I killed 3 ninjas.
Right.
So.
Great movie, by the way.
It looks like we both got what we wanted.
Yes. All right, and then I don't know. I'll pull one of these guys back to my bag using this. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually hanging out with Tyler the other night. I went over to help him and Morgan put some stuff together at their new house, and we were talking, and like, they've never seen Three Ninjas. Any of them. I was like, there's 4 films in this incredible franchise, and you've seen exactly 0. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, I'm assuming you know.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. What about Beverly Hills Ninja? Have they seen that?
I highly doubt it, honestly. I'm just gonna assume that they haven't watched any good films. No, they have, but they're not like. Everybody has their own taste. Like, I don't blame anyone for not seeing it, and like, even though I love Three Ninjas, like, it's obviously like very nostalgic, and like, I'm not saying it's not a good movies. It's not. They're not good movies, but they're super entertaining movies. It's like watching Surf Ninjas. Surf Ninjas isn't good, but it's fun to watch.
I watched I watched the new Ip Man the other day, which I enjoy the Ip Man stuff.
Is this? Yes, I have seen all of. Now, is this the actual 4th Ip Man, not the one or the 3rd Ip Man that they did that actually has Donnie Yen and not the other guy?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. If we want to talk about Donnie Yen, that's my boy. I watch all of Ip Man.
I got turned on to Ip Man movies because my wife and I on New Year's Eve, we were in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and we went to a pinball bar that we like going to when we're there. And we were just hanging out at the bar, and they had a big widescreen, and so they just had the Ip Man, I don't know, I think it was 2 playing, and it was like, you know, super loud in there, but they had the subtitles on, obviously, so you could just follow along what was going on, and I was like, and what's the 1 or 2? It's the one where he goes and he has to fight the masters on the table. And,
yeah, that's the 2nd one. Yeah,
that's the 2nd one. Yeah, it was Ip Man 2, and I was just like, yeah, this is cool. I need to make sure I watch all of these.
Yeah, they did it in they put if you anyone watching, if you've never watched Ip Man, you really need to. They're incredible films. They're really well done. I mean, and definitely some of the aside from just like the the action, the fighting scenes, like everything about those movies is fantastic. But yeah, in the second one, he had to fight the Masters because he was trying to establish a school, and the Masters basically were running like an operation, and they didn't want new schools coming in, so he had to basically fight the Masters to earn the right to teach martial arts there. So, yeah, those movies are fantastic. And then my boy Donnie Yen finally got a bigger part in Star Wars when, if you ever watched Rogue One, and then it came out, and everyone's like, "Who's this cool Asian guy?" I was like, "Oh, you guys don't know. That's Ip Man."
I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I think that's a pretty good movie. The Rogue One. However, I tell anybody who will listen to me, which isn't many people, but I tell anybody who will listen to me that I'm like, it's basically a combination of Magnificent Seven and Dirty Dozen, and that's what you're watching. I mean,
pretty much.
So it's but they just reskinned it in a click in your thing. I know you're ready. I'm not. No, I mean, it was like, well, I mean, because you went in knowing that none of them could live, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at this! Look at this happy horse shit. 4 guys on that thing. I see what you did there.
I was kind of hoping somebody would come back out there and I would just gank someone right now.
Well, you didn't.
I did not. But now it's going to be pretty tough for you to take that field.
Yeah, it will be. Okay, you can take that that ninja in the middle, make him go run away.
Oh, I'll just send him over here because you're going to shoot one anyways.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, and then big meaty guy doesn't do anything. I take two healer.
On Tycho.
That ain't good. This guy kills one of them automatically and then takes 1 damage.
Yep. I'll take this one. And that doesn't do anything. And then... Oh, do you want to move him over here to one of these areas where you don't have Ronin? Because right...
And then I can...
And then he just fights it.
This guy can shoot here.
Yeah,
or here,
I can.
Right?
Yeah, I can shoot Yobu right
shoot
now.
There.
Yeah.
But so if I move him here, he can kill this guy, and then you can't shoot him.
Yeah, I'm still shooting Yobu, but.
Yobu.
Yeah, that's the one that's right here, right there. That guy. That
guy's
getting shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He blended in with the.
Oh yeah. We'll put him on the sand. There you go.
Yeah, we'll kill that guy. That's fine.
All right, so he'll take 1, and then I'm gonna shoot this arrow, and Yobu's gonna take a point of damage, and that's gonna come from over here. Where is he? There he is. All right.
Apparently, you shoot one of your own ninjas at him to kill him. You get what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah, I load up a ninja.
You don't actually throw an arrow, you just heave one of your compatriots at him.
They just jump out the window like, here I come.
Ready or not. Okay. All right. So, hey, you lose people, it's winter.
I've been losing people. Don't worry, I've been keeping track of it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just,
Oh, yeah.
Have you been, I mean, besides this stuff, I mean, have you been playing any solo games or anything? Trying to stay sane? Or I know you've been doing the Mythos stuff, and I know you got you're traveling to Florida to do some recording for your band.
Yes,
which is super cool.
Yes, music being my first love, I'm a musician, and I am traveling. I'm leaving for Florida tomorrow, and we'll be hitting the studio for 4 days down there. Actually, I'm flying to Florida, but it's in Valdosta, Georgia, but it's only like 2 hours from where I was living, so it's not far. But yeah, I'm flying down there to do that. So music's been my main focus. I've been spending all my free time just working on the pre-production and getting all the stuff in order for it. Gaming-wise, I don't really game a whole lot except for on the weekends. The streams for Gray Fox, I'm going to play Mythos Tales and stuff. That's most of the gaming I get to do during the week. But There's a series that's like a cooperative puzzle game called We Were Here on Steam that's phenomenal. The first one's free to play, and then the second ones are like bigger, grander adventures that you can buy. But basically, you and someone else are put into a castle, but you're in different parts of the castle, and you can only communicate through a radio, and you have to navigate different puzzles. Like one person will have information to relay to the other person to actually like perform a puzzle. So it'll be like, I'm in a room full of switches, but I don't know what they do. And the other person's like, okay, I have a book, and this book tells me to do this in this order, and you have to like do that way. So it's like, it's a really fun, if you like puzzle, almost like escape room kind of stuff. So if you really like that like cooperative, like high thought process puzzle aspect with cooperative play, like that game series is phenomenal, and I highly recommend everybody play it. No, that's that. And if I'm not playing by myself, I'll generally just like, and I'm playing video games, I'll play like, I'm a big fan of Paladins. I've been playing Paladins for a long time. Overwatch, Call of Duty. I'm really into shooters. But solo board games just for the stream.
Gotcha. I'm ready. You ready?
I'm ready.
I thought you were gonna go to the road.
It was tempting. I mean, you caught my other... Like, basically, like, I had a feeling I knew where you're going to be placing some stuff, so I'm trying to take some Ronin off the board here.
Well, it looks like you're gonna get Yumi. Alright, so Musashi will kill this guy.
Yep. Saw that one coming.
Die, sucker.
Did you want to send Haye over to the field? Any field?
Oh, I mean, it's tempting.
Or you can send him to the Buddha, to the shrine.
And because that makes you
turn off an ability.
Turn off an ability. Yeah, let's go kill that guy. As he clings to life. Let's just whap whap.
Alright, one down. Makes me feel good.
No more for you. And then I get to pick who dies.
Yep, not surprised by that one.
Worthless Ronin. Alright. That, as they say, is that. Come on, winner!
Yeah, I was trying to pace myself, but I got a little greedy early on, and now I'm paying for it.
Well, like, that's when I played it. It was like, it seemed like I had thousands of these ninja to throw around, and then I was just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, they go very quickly.
Right. Where can I put my healer where you won't expect him to go? Now, this road with 4 Ronin, you'll never expect him to go there. Oof. Hold on.
No. It was a misclick.
Don't get all antsy in your pants.
I was trying to pick up a cube. I don't want to hear it.
Well, grunt big or go home, as they say.
Yeah. All right.
I'm either gonna lose this turn or
do very well. Oh my goodness! Just grab the square.
All right. So he dies, and I just absorb his damage. Say goodbye to the healing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got 0 in the ninja reserve right now, and 10 in the ninja pool.
Mm-hmm.
So wait a minute. Are you winning right now with this, and this?
Yes, I am. Unless
So
you do that, yeah.
Yeah, if I do that, that's the only thing I can do. And that will kill, and then he will die gloriously for the village. But, and you don't. What does this do again?
I can lock one of your Ronins in place.
But you don't have anybody else to bring out.
I don't have anyone else to bring out. Correct. So basically, the way that this is gonna work is I'll lose. I think I lose a ninja off the board for each. Which, like, basically, like, that was my gambit. Was I needed one of the Ronin that I caught to be a high eye, so he couldn't move.
And then copy the thing with the end.
Well, not even copy. See, so if high eye was switched with Tycho, I didn't care if you healed someone because you wouldn't have been able to stop me from getting 5 village spaces.
Mm.
High eye was the only thing that really could stop me from doing that, because I anticipated, like, I hedged very heavily that you were not going to allow me to get the granary or the passage. Which, for some reason, I don't know, the passage wasn't super important because I didn't have much of a reserve. But I was basically trying to catch high eye. And if I would have done that, I think that I would have still retained the village spaces I needed to claim the win. But as it stands now, I'm going to lock someone in place, and then you're going to pull 2 back, and then you're going to replace them. And basically, you're just going to spend 2 rounds placing them in places where I don't have ninja, and then you're going to win.
Yeah, I don't let the winter freeze you out.
Yeah, that's cool. Well,
Yep.
Yay!
Yep, you got it.
Man. I think we've proven that the Ronin have it way too easy in this game.
That is not the case at all.
Well, in our sample size of 2 games.
Yes, as all games are developed with.
Yes, 2 blind playtests has proven that, yeah. No, perfect.
I mean, like, both games were still close. Like I said, like, that game, if you would have put high eye in place of any other person, then I would have won there.
Mm.
And that would have been the difference. Right? So, like, that's how close it actually was. So, because once I had the fields, I was tempted to go to the graveyard and then maybe be able to pull some forces back off the field. But, like I said, I just went wide. Like, I could have doubled up and put damage there, but I figured that my best bet with how many ninjas I had left was to try to just hit as many spaces as possible. And you still had too many Ronin for me to have a real chance of, like, actually pulling that off in, like, a safe way. So, like, I really needed one more of your Ronin to be dead before we got to this point.
So, cinematically, though, I mean, the what's his face, the purple Ronin, galloping off, to sacrifice his life to save the village, cinematically.
Yeah.
Would be,
I mean, he did
fits
it.
right in.
100%. Yeah.
But no, man, this is. I mean, and this game came out a long time ago. It is.
I think like 3 years, 4 years at this point. Yeah. Like I said, it holds up really well.
Well, I mean, most games do. It's just we live in such a weird cult of the new that people like just don't know games like this exist, right?
Yeah. I was actually tempted at one point. I wanted to make a just like kind of like a fun like streaming channel or like a YouTube channel that was dedicated entirely to 2-player games and just like explore because like there are a ton of 2-player games out there, but aside from just cult of the new, the 2-player genre is really hard for a lot of companies to push because like when you get to that 2-player genre, there's so many people that play like the big card games and like in the board game industry on average it's not like I would say it's more common to have more than 2 people on a gaming event. I mean, pre-quarantine, but generally when people have game nights, it's not usually, hey, do you want to have one friend come over and play games? It's, hey, I'm going to talk to like 5 different people and see who shows up, right? So the 2-player stuff is a little bit tougher, I think. So I would have loved to make content at some point that focuses on just this 2-player genre and shows off all the amazing games you can find here.
Yeah, I had a go-to guy that I play all my 2-player games with, but he has since like moved away. So unfortunately, like any of the heavier 2-player stuff, like I play like Twilight Struggle and things like that. I don't have a dedicated opponent anymore, which stinks, because I kind of counted on that, and then yeah, what a jerk. He wanted to like go and be successful in computer engineering and moved away. So
absurdity.
Yeah, I know. Come on, can't you just continue making a miserly pittance amount of money and
for my benefit?
For my benefit of having somebody I can play 2-player 18xx games with. I mean, what a jerk. But...
sounds amazing. Well, if any of them are online, you can always hit me up. I always love the 2-player genre because it's a bit of a hop and a skip to get from where I live to where you live. So.
Yeah, it's a fair amount of space. So tomorrow, what do you got shaking? You got Super Hot, right? Tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow. Since I'm leaving in the afternoon to take my trip, I had to pick something that was a little bit shorter. So out of all the solo stuff, I had Super Hot fit the bill pretty easily. So tomorrow, Super Hot's going to be it. And as with everything else, we'll have a discount code for Super Hot during the stream. So tune in to get that. But that'll be starting at 2 p.m. Central. So this week we moved the times around a little bit around like the working schedule. So tomorrow will be an hour earlier than normal, and it'll be running until I'll be streaming for about an hour or so. Is about the time frame I'll be in. So just a couple of quick run throughs of Super Hot, nothing crazy. And then
have you played the video game Super Hot?
I have, and Super Hot really lends itself to, I think it's such a good thematic tabletop version of the actual game that like if you haven't played the Super Hot video game, you can appreciate it for the cleverness of like how the deck builder is set up. But if you've played the video game, and I think it really opens up the appreciation of how hard they worked to make the mechanics of the game mirror what you do in the actual video game. Because anytime that you try to translate something from video games to tabletop, like you can't 100% it. It just isn't possible. But this does a really good job of getting it as close as you possibly can inside of a card game.
The thing that I really so I played Super Hot on like when it first came out. I probably got it on some Steam sale or Steam bundle, and didn't even know I had it. And then I played it, and I was like, well, this is kind of cool. And then the one thing my son wanted more than anything in the world for last Christmas was a VR system. So we got the Oculus, and I got Super Hot for that. That is, if you ever wanted to feel like you're John Wick. Playing it in VR of like literally bullet time and dodging bullets or like blocking the bullets out of midair with a frying pan or things like that, and like throwing a gun at somebody.
it's pretty intense. And plus, like, some of the stuff that my son plays, I can't play just because I'm old and my equilibrium. It's like when because it's tough, right? Like, you have that VR helmet on and you're like, oh, I'm moving forward, but your brain thinks you're moving forward, but you're not moving forward. I mean, I can do it for like about 10 minutes and then I just feel all woozy and nauseous and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah, VR
but thankfully,
stuff.
it's super hot. You just stand still pretty much. There's like maybe a 2 or 3 foot area, and you yourself kind of move back and forth in that 2 or 3 foot area, so your brain goes along with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whereas like he got this new game called like what was it called, Blades and Sorcery or something like that.
Oh
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my heavens! I played that. I mean, like my character was climbing a ladder, and I didn't get the next rung, and I fell off the ladder. I mean, like for like that split second, my body thought I was falling. Like literally, I tensed and like got ready to hit the ground, because I just fell off a ladder, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna take this off. I can't, If you just want to have a couple of guns and shoot things, yeah, that's fine. But if you're gonna make me, actually feel like I'm spinning, no, not for me. But good for them. Good for my son for his like 8-year-old sense of like
wonderment,
equilibrium and craziness. He loves it. But yeah, anyway, I've never played that game. I'll have to check that out. So it actually, like, the deck building aspect of it is like it actually must have the bullet time and everything in there as well.
Mm-hmm. So the way that it works is like the cards are dual purpose. So whenever they're in the lineup, they're obstacles you have to get past, and then once you move past them or you destroy them, they become things you can use in your deck. But everything in your deck is one-time use. So a guy that's holding a shotgun, when it goes into your deck, is just a shotgun you can use. And then once you use it, it goes back into the deck that you have to go up against again later. So it simulates you running through these different rooms and facing these different obstacles. And whenever you, like, destroy something, like, the best part about it is, in the way that they do bullet time, is the number of cards that you play during your turn is basically how many spaces you move forward. They think of it like steps, and then, like, the lineup has, like, 6 spaces. So each card that you play will move you forward that many spaces, and then everything you move past is kind of like dodging it. So whenever you move past it, like, you interact with things by destroying it and attacking it directly, or you can move past it. When you move past it, that you can gain it into your deck to use. So the bullet time is really clever. Because I was like, okay, if I play more cards, that means I'm running faster, and that means I'll acquire more things. But at certain points, you'll need to move slower. It's like, I really need to take care of this, but it requires more cards than I want to play in order for me to stay under what I want to move. So it's really clever. And if you guys have never seen it played as far as the deck building game, definitely tune in tomorrow or check out one of the other streams I've already done, and definitely see, like, it's one of those hidden genius games. I will definitely say that. It is a beautifully designed game.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be awesome. And then you get back on Monday, and I think you and I are going to dive into possibly playing some bigger and meatier stuff, like maybe throw out some Midgard or something on the old Tabletop Simulator.
Yes, yeah. At some point next week, I'll send you all the stuff that we need for the schedule, and then everyone watching can tune into our social media, and we'll announce our streams for next week. And one of the days next week, we're going to try and open this up and play some of our bigger games here. So that way, it's not just the smaller things.
I would like the record to show that the first game, of course, was a learning game, so it didn't count. So this one did, and I will retire 7 Ronin.
Yeah. Except you played the other side, so you played 2 learning games, one of each side, sir.
Well, no, I felt that you played the side so well that I just, I learned well. I didn't need to relearn it. So I will take this moment in front of.
You want to retire with the belt? That's fine.
My retirement.
You want to retire with the belt? Okay. Oh, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean that's the way you do it, right? I mean, unless they come at you with a big cash cow, then you're gonna be like, okay, maybe,
What is it in WWE? It's like the briefcase. Like
the Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank, yeah, Money in the Bank. Till I drop that Money in the Bank, like I'm challenging you. What's good?
They just did that. They had to, but of course they couldn't. So Money in the Bank is like not to get off on a tangent, but Money in the Bank is like one of my absolute favorite pay-per-views because it's it's so it's climactic, right? Because it's like so the premise behind it is, I mean, admittedly we all know it's scripted, but the premise behind it is the person who gets the briefcase is basically a contract that they can turn in at any time to challenge for the championship belt. And so when it's exciting to see who's going to basically have a shot, like where's the script going to take them, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they can't have big crowds and they can't have a big stadium full of fans. So this year the pay-per-view was actually just a week ago, or last Sunday actually, just 2 days ago. And they instead basically they made it into like a little mini film of everybody running through the WWE Titan Tower trying to make it to the roof of the building, where the briefcases were. Both the 6 or 8 men and women, both at the same time, were all racing to the top of the building to get their respective briefcases.
Oh wow!
So it was interesting. I mean, they had like some comedic bits of, you know, the janitor, of course, like mopping the floor, so somebody has to slip on the floor as they run by. You know, apparently somebody got thrown off the building. You know, of course they're back fine the next day. Nobody was murdered.
Yeah.
You know, bursting into a boardroom meeting, you know, and having to apologize to the boss. And
Yeah.
and then of course the crux of it was the weird thing is that the woman who won it, this Japanese wrestler named Asuka, she got it, and then the next day, Becky Lynch, the woman who actually had the belt, announced that she's pregnant, and so she had to forfeit the title. So she just basically gave the title to
Oh
Asuka,
wow!
which, yeah, it's weird. Real life invading, you know, the. Anyway, I could talk for hours about professional wrestling. It's kind of one of my weird pet.
No, maybe I'll join you on one of your Wednesday night podcasts one day, and we'll get down to the nitty gritty of wrestling.
Yeah, you should. Are you a fan?
I watched a lot of the Attitude Era when I was younger. I haven't kept up with it in a long time.
Yeah, I mean that was the golden era, right? When you had the NWO and the WCW, and then you had the Attitude Era over in the WWF, now WWE. So we'll never have that era of wrestling back again. I mean, in all honesty, I believe that because they've done some of these scripted matches where they kind of just tell a story and they're almost like a little mini film, and there's a lot of wrestling units that do that now. Like there's Lucha Libre is a Mexico-based wrestling where it's just they basically almost the acting ability of the wrestlers is just as important as their in-ring ability. I think that we'll go towards that. I think it's like they're going to fully embrace the fact that yes, we are reality television, right? You know, and it's just, you know, they're just going to tell a story, and then there will be some, you know, wrestling action as well. I don't know. I think the days of big giant live events and touring, I think is gonna, it'll still be there, but not as much as it used to be. So, anyway, enough prattling about that. Thanks for hosting this, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for the win. I appreciate.
Oh, of course. Yeah, least I can do is lay down my arms. So.
So head on over to GreyFoxGames.com if you think this game would be something you'd like to play against, especially now if you're quarantined and you're quarantined with a family member and you need something to play. Head on over. And
yep.
what is the coupon code again?
It's on the screen here. If y'all look underneath where the game is being displayed, it says discount code 7RoninStream. That's one word. You can just go to the website, put that in when you're checking out. That'll give you discount on the game. Don't forget the promo tile we have there along with the game as well. You can check out the rest of the great stuff on the website too. We have a lot of exclusive goodies for all of our games. Champion and Midgard's upgrade packs. We've got a bunch of promos and stuff for pretty much every game we have up there. So check it out while you're there. Subscribe to the newsletter. The newsletter will keep you up to date on everything that we're doing. So we keep you on the inside track as far as like if we have any updates on like the games coming out later this year, like if Tsukiyumi Full Moon Down has something going on, or Tortuga 2199, any of those games we have coming out, you'll be the first one to know about it, as well as announcing Kickstarter campaigns, and we give stuff away. It's a really cool newsletter. So just if you're not part of it, go ahead, go sign up while you're there. And then,
say, if I can, I'm just gonna say, if anybody has any, I'm the one who writes the newsletters now. So if anybody has any questions about anything Gray Fox related, they can just tweet it at me at Gray Fox, or Facebook post on Gray Fox, or email me directly, Lance at Gray Fox Games, and
yes,
I'll give you an answer.
Yes.
I'll find out what's going on, and I'll let you know.
Lance will take care of it. And the last thing before we sign off here, if you look at there at the top of your screen again while you're looking, it says teespring.com/store/GrayFoxGames. That's our merch store. So if you don't already have any cool Gray Fox swag for the games, you can go there. You can get some. We got some stickers, some hoodies, some T-shirts. We've got stuff from Champions of Midgard. We have Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. We actually have 7 Ronin. We have Bushido. I've got more designs I'm working on all the time, so we'll have more stuff in the store in the coming weeks as well. But yeah, you can get it, and then that way you can rep it home, take some pictures of it, show it off to all your friends, and then whenever the world gets back to a quote-unquote more normal place and we can see each other again in person at conventions, you can wear those awesome shirts you ordered and show them off to all your friends. So
Do it.
Do it.
All right.
It's really cool stuff. So that's it for us today. So, and that's also, yes, that's it for today. So like I said, I'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central Time, and I'll be playing Super Hot. So make sure that you tune in. Lance, thank you again so much for hanging out and playing with me. It was a blast, as usual.